You do not need $10,000 to start investing. You don't even need $1,000. You need $100, about 10 minutes of your time, and a phone. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to actually do with all three. No more excuses. No more, I'll start once I have more saved up. Most people assume investing is something you get into once you're already wealthy enough to afford it. Like it's a reward for already having money. That's backwards, and it's the exact assumption that keeps a lot of people on the sidelines for years longer than they need to be. Investing with a small amount, starting today, is actually how you become wealthy enough to invest with a larger amount later. So let's walk through precisely what to do with your first $100, step by step, with zero guessing involved. Step 1 is opening a brokerage account, which is just a regulated account that legally lets you actually buy and hold investments, similar in spirit to a bank account, but built for stocks and funds instead of just cash. This sounds intimidating before you've done it, but it's genuinely one of the easiest parts of this entire process, start to finish. There are several free, well-established apps built specifically for this exact purpose, most of which let you open a fully functional account in about 10 minutes, directly from your phone, with no large minimum deposit required anywhere to get started. You'll typically need some basic information, your name, address, and social security number, mainly for tax reporting purposes down the line, and you'll link a bank account so you can transfer money in whenever you're ready. That's genuinely the entire setup process. No paperwork mailed anywhere, no in-person meeting with a banker required, and no minimum balance that most providers demand before you're even allowed to begin investing your first dollar. Step 2, and the one that trips up most beginners more than anything else, is deciding what to actually buy with that $100. The tempting option is picking one exciting individual company, something you've heard about online, something trending in the news that week. The smarter option, especially with a small starting amount like this, is a broad index fund, which automatically spreads your $100 across hundreds of different companies at once in a single purchase. Here's why that matters so much when you're just starting out with limited money. If you put all $100 into a single stock and that one company has a terrible year, your entire investment takes the full hit with nothing else to balance it out. Spread across hundreds of companies through an index fund instead. One bad company barely moves the needle at all because you're effectively betting on the overall direction of the economy growing over time, not on guessing correctly which single company comes out on top. Here's something that didn't really exist for regular everyday investors until fairly recently: fractional shares. In the past, if a single share of a fund or company cost $400 and you only had $100 to invest, you simply couldn't buy in at all. You had to set that money aside and keep saving until you'd accumulated the full amount first, which could take months. Today, most major brokerage apps let you buy a fraction of a share instead, using whatever exact dollar amount you actually have available. Put in $100 toward a $400 share, and you now legally own exactly a quarter of that share, no different in principle from owning the entire thing outright. Just scale down to match what you can realistically afford right now today. This single feature is the main reason the old excuse of "I don't have enough money to start" simply doesn't hold up the way it used to. Here's the part that actually matters more than the $100 itself: what you do immediately after that first purchase. A single $100 deposit, sitting on its own, isn't going to transform your finances in any meaningful way, and pretending otherwise would be dishonest. What actually builds real wealth over time is turning that first deposit into a repeatable habit by setting up an automatic monthly contribution right away, even something as small as $50 a month, so the decision to keep investing gets made once, up front, instead of requiring fresh willpower every single month going forward indefinitely. That first $100 isn't really the destination, even though it feels like a milestone in the moment. It's just proof that you've crossed the only genuinely hard step in this entire process, which is starting it all, instead of continuing to wait for some imagined perfect moment that never actually arrives on its own. The single biggest mistake beginners make with their first $100 is overthinking it completely, spending weeks researching the supposedly perfect stock, comparing dozens of different options, reading forum after forum, and never actually pulling the trigger on anything at all. With a starting amount this small, the specific pick genuinely matters far less than simply getting started and building the habit early, while you have the most time on your side. One more thing worth knowing, because it used to be a real barrier. Most major brokerage apps today charge zero commission on trades, which wasn't always true even a decade ago. Back then, a flat $7 trading fee could quietly eat 7% of a $100 investment before it even had a real chance to grow at all. That barrier has largely disappeared across the industry now. which makes starting small genuinely more realistic today than it's ever been at any point before. Let's be honest about something important. $100 is not going to make you rich on its own, and treating this video as some kind of get-rich-quick promise would be genuinely misleading. What it actually represents is the first rep of a habit, the exact same habit that, repeated consistently for years through automatic monthly contributions, is what eventually builds real wealth through compounding over time, just like we covered in an earlier video. The amount you start with matters far less than most people assume. Whether you start at $100 or, ideally, 10 years earlier than you originally planned to. Open the account, pick a broad index fund, use fractional shares if you need to, and automate exactly what comes next. That's genuinely the entire process for turning a simple $100 into the start of something real, with zero guessing required at any step along the way. If this made starting feel a lot less intimidating than it did 10 minutes ago, subscribe. Next video, we're covering 7 specific money habits that quietly make people rich over time, often without anyone around them really noticing what's happening. See you there.